Hello everyone, especially a big welcome to parents and also our students who are at home. As you will see, the film is about supporting all of our families and particularly our students in transitioning to online learning at home over the next couple of days, and let's hope it is just the next couple of days. Teachers have been working tirelessly today to put in place a whole lot of what we've already had set up in our Teams and OneNotes to make sure that students can access learning from tomorrow, but also access teachers and be able to see faces, be able to see one another, and at times working with our head of HPE, Mr. Tabret, around some ways in which we can keep our young people active and healthy as well. So just on behalf of everyone at Brisbane South State Secondary College, we wish you all a wonderful next 3 days in terms of be safe, access us as much as possible. Students, if you have any queries, email your teachers. We're here to help, but equally too, we want to make sure that if young people are unwell or families are unwell, please go and get tested. Let's try and get out of this as quickly as possible. Thanks, everyone.
Good afternoon, Year 7 and parents. We've put this video together to help you to navigate to online learning. What we're going to be doing is running a normal timetable, but in a hybrid learning environment. So starting tomorrow, you will be undertaking your Tuesday lessons, and that's going to start with all classes accessing their LP class. Now, how you're going to do this is that we're going to be using two main programs, and that is going to be our Teams and also our OneNote. For any school notices, we're going to be using what we always have used, and that is going to be DayMap. So what you're going to do is for each lesson, we're going to be doing this online check-in at the beginning. What that means is that you're going to be accessing your online meetings via your team sites, and this is going to be your class team sites. During this time, your teacher is going to then be explaining the set work that you'll be undertaking during that lesson. And there'll also be an overview of the work in the general channel tab in your team site. Now, don't worry if you are struggling to get on to the online meeting, because you can always find your work that will be highlighted in that general channel. As you log in to your team site, you will already be able to see that we have lots of these meetings that your teachers have already scheduled. So you can see that Mr. Castle has already now created where he's going to be meeting with his English class at these particular times. Another way that you can access all of your scheduled meetings is when you go into your class team site, click on the icon to the left there on your calendar. And this is an example, and this is Miss Ling's, so that you can see that these are all of the meetings for your classes. And so when the time comes, you're going to find that a little button will come up and it will say join. All you need to do is click on that, and then you're going to be in your online meeting. When you click on the join button, this is the screen that's going to come up. What you want to make sure is that you've got your computer, mic and speakers. You can have them clicked on, but when you come into your meeting, they're actually all automatically going to be switched off, and it will be up to your classroom teacher if we switch them on during your online call. In addition to that, could you please make sure that your video is on? Even though that you might not be able to speak at that time, we will still be able to see you on video. And if you choose to do so, you can change your background filters like I have here. Then you're going to click the Join Now. When you get into your online meeting, this is what it's going to look like, and these are the buttons that you're going to use at the top there. So if you click on the little people button, that's going to show you who is on the online call with you. If you need to ask a question, use the little chat feature, and then this is where you type your message. You've also got what we call these reaction emojis, and so if you have a question and your teacher's presenting, you can actually do the raise hand, and that's going to indicate to your classroom teacher that you have a question. After your teacher has explained the set work, The next part will be where you then get on with that set work. So this is going to be done independently. So at that time, your classroom teacher will probably end the call. But don't worry, if you have any questions, they will be available on the teacher chat during the lesson. Then at 5 minutes prior to the lesson finishing, your teacher's going to come and ask you to join the meeting again so they can do a really quick check-in to see how you travelled with the work, do you have any questions, and then give you 5 minutes to end that meeting, take a little bit of a break and then get on for your next class. In addition to that, as I mentioned, that if you can't get online for whatever reason, please do not panic, because as Mr. Bates has already started doing, you will find in your team chat the resources and the overview required for each of your lessons. I'm now going to hand over to Miss Rowe, who's going to be talking to you through working in the home environment but online. Miss Rowe.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. So, while you're working from home, it is really important that you are able to establish a workspace for yourself. So, what that means is you need to find a desk or a table that you are going to be able to work from. You want to avoid areas that might be distracting, as well as keeping your phone away from that learning environment, because we want to make sure that when you're sitting down to learn, you're going to be ready and primed to take in that information. You also want to make sure that your daily schedule is kept as your normal school day. So the time that you would usually wake up, when you would usually have your breakfast, you want to see if you can maintain that so that you're eating breakfast, brushing your teeth and getting dressed into your Brisbane South State Secondary College sports uniform, ready for learning. Part of learning online is that you're going to have some student expectations. What that means is, even though you are not physically in the school, it is still our expectation that you uphold our 4 school values: commitment, inclusivity, integrity, and respect. And you're doing that while you're learning through Teams and OneNote. So what that might look like is that we're only using the chat function for learning purposes. You're using the same language that you would at school, so we're not seeing any profanity in the chat, so we're not swearing, we're not using memes. We're using the chat function responsibly and through the audio and the video, etc. And that you're staying focused on your set class work. So we're avoiding reading unrelated chats or looking at other tabs in your computer. You also want to think about how you might balance your work day, your learning day. So make sure you get up to move around between your lessons. Try not to sit still all day. So just like you would during a normal school day, make sure you have your breaks. So our normal breaks are between 11:10 and 12 p.m, as well as 1:20 and 2 p.m. And you want to make sure your laptops and stylus is still charged. Make sure, as Ms. Sullivan said, you ask questions. So you can do this through the video chat function during that class on Teams, or through the Teams channel feed, where some of you already post chats. Make sure you remember that those chats cannot be deleted and they will be monitored by your teacher. If there is an absence, your parents, as they normally would for a school day, will need to call the school to let us know. So if you are sick and unable to attend your classes, but please be aware that each day your learnerpreneur teacher will mark the roll and they will mark your attendance for that day. At the beginning of each lesson, there will also be a roll marking. If you are not present in your LP class though, your family will be contacted and you will need to let us know whether or not you're attending classes for the day and why you might not be. And lucky last, just remember that home learning still counts. So follow your normal daily timetable. Make sure that you're in class at the beginning of the lesson to get your name marked off. Make sure that your teacher and student interaction is occurring through Teams and that you're asking teachers questions through Teams. And make sure that you are looking for those opportunities for social connection while you're in your lesson. Thank you.
And finally, Year 7, we know that working from home can be somewhat challenging for students and also for our parents. It's really important that you still have that human connection and that you're also undertaking some physical activity. So Ms. Place, is going to be running an online Just Dance competition tomorrow. So to join that during your break, and it's not compulsory, but only if you want to get involved, please look for the link in Daymap, and then Miss Place is going to be running that activity. And then later on this week, we're going to send you some further communication. We will be running a live event for our assembly, and Miss Place is currently working on some of those online competitions. It's showing how you're getting physical and moving about in the home environment, and we will be playing the best of them on our assembly, and also some people will be up for points with Vivo in those challenges. So Year 7 students, we are looking forward to seeing you all virtually tomorrow. And again, if you are having any difficulties at logging in, please do not worry, but just send us an email in regards to what's actually going on, and we're going to be troubleshooting those problems. And the address for emailing is actually in the letter that was sent to your parents today. We look forward to seeing you virtually tomorrow. See you later.